Ladies and gentlemen, now today our overlords over at Netmarble have hooked us all up with a big old bag of hush money. That's right lads, we got 300 gems in the inbox, and any player that logs in between now and the 10th of May, I believe is able to claim these gems. I don't know if it works for new accounts, man, so let me know in the comments section if you've tried it. However, one big question I'm getting is, Seatin, I've got so many gems, mate, and I'm absolutely balling, but what do I spend these gems on? Do I go straight into the lolly Merlin banner? Do I summon on Stranger Things, re-zero, save up for Chandler or Zeldris, or do I take advantage of the Cosmetic Sale right now? And I think it's a interesting one to talk about. So I want to start off by talking about the Festival Merlin banner. Now, I think in comparison to the one Escanor banner, which was the last like big 7 Deadly Sins Festival banner, this one is a little bit worse in comparison. It's got 3 festival units in comparison to 4, and there's just a lot of characters that you just don't really want to see on a festival banner in this one. Like Sariel is probably like one of the big jackpot characters, but aside from that, there's just like a lot of common, a lot of older characters in this banner, and again the chance that you're going to get something that's a really big win is actually quite low there. Festival Merlin is a really good character, man. However, I think it's better to wait until the next festival or the festival after, where she's probably going to be on that banner as well, with like a super hype, super overpowered new festival character. So yeah, I would advise, if you're free to play or you have a very limited budget, you just skip this banner. You do not put your gems into this banner, because that's what I'm doing on my free to play, man. I think there's going to be much better festival units a little bit later, and yeah, the additional stuff in this banner is just like a little bit dry for the most part. Again, if you do get lucky, get Sariel, get Merlin, it's a pretty good time, but aside from that, there's just a lot of losses in this banner, so it's a big gamble and not one that I can personally recommend. Now, the next banner we got to talk about is the Chandler, Aemeli, and Zeldris banner. Now, between the 2 new characters on this banner, Chandler and Zeldris, I think Chandler is like 10 times better in comparison, man. He's just like the most ridiculous character. Zeldris is a pretty good support unit for Assault Mode Meliodas in the right matchup. However, one of the things with Chandler is he has made like the Esterosa Tamiel tank team so much stronger, because yeah, his passive is just like perfect for those teams, man. He's got so much damage output, and you can also slow down aggression even more by disabling like go to rank ups. So yeah, Chandler actually like, you know, takes those teams to a whole new level, and those teams like completely screw over Zeldris, because then they go like fully debuff immune and Zeldris can't ult control there. So against some of the older teams like the one Escanor Glue Eater, if you have like Aemeli, Chandler, and Zeldris, like it's pretty good for slowing down those teams and controlling them. I had much success in what is it, top 100 PvP with that team on KR, but then as soon as people started breaking out the tank teams, man, yeah, it was just a really difficult time. However, one thing to consider is that Chandler is pretty much the real festival unit here. However, after the end of this festival, they have confirmed that he's being added into the permanent gacha lineup, which means he's going to be in this position of like Sariel and Tamiel, that he's going to be on a lot of different banners. I think he should be coming into the Demon tickets as well, so global players, make sure you save your Demon, Archangel, and Fairy tickets, because you could pull a Chandler from those. But the point really is that like in this banner, Chandler is much better than Zeldris, but Chandler is also not guaranteed at 900 or at any point in this banner. So I know people that have gone about 1,800 to 2,700 gems, and on a 0.25 have not pulled Chandler. So the average odds for Chandler are about 1 in about 1,100 gems. So the chance of getting him in a single rotation is fairly high, but also it's not guaranteed at the same time. And if you're building up a solid free-to-play account, you want to build that account on solid gambles and guaranteed value. And this is really not a solid gamble on a 0.25, and there's absolutely no guaranteed value. You could go the whole 900 gems rotation and get 1 copy of Zeldris. So I think if you really are fussed about the longer term of building up an Aemeli team that's really going to work and be impactful, you probably want to wait till either like the next Aemeli festival or the festival after that. Because again, we've only got like 2 festival level units for Assault Mode Meliodas at the moment. It's just like him and Zeldris. So this is kind of like summoning on the Goddess Liz banner, where in like 3-4 months time there could be the one Escanor banner. So, you know, it's just something to think about and consider. If you save up for like another 2 demon festivals, if you have, you know, that just sheer willingness and you've already sorted out your roster with like the one Escanor and Sariel, then yeah, it could pay off massively in the future. Because when those next 2 broken demons come in, man, you'll just be in a position where you can go like 2-3 rotations and just completely sort out the team. And that's kind of the thing with AMLE as well, is when it comes to PvE, you don't necessarily need a high ult level, but if you really want this man to succeed in PvP, a lot of the win criteria around the assault melee team is like getting to that ult, firing it off, and having like a nice follow-up as well. And if you have like a 1-6-2-6 AM melee, very often you're going to fall short of you know, killing a very savvy player that can play around and also manage your AM melee as well. So yeah, just something to think about and consider. But honestly, man, I don't think this is the right banner to summon on if you really do care about kind of building a big AM melee team for the future. Because again, there's no guaranteed value on Chandler, and I would estimate that the next couple of AM melee banners are going to be a little bit better in comparison. So yeah, this banner is a little bit dry, at least in my opinion, and I think it's like worth holding up for something a little bit better. Then next up, we got the ReZero banner, and this is a little bit of an interesting one. I think all of the characters are very good. However, Amelia is a massive whale character in my opinion, and also with the additional rise of like Chandler and tank teams kind of moving forward, like those teams just completely cuck over Amelia. So Amelia, like, she's a fun unit to get. I'm gonna 6-6 her on my whale account, but on my free-to-play account, man, like Amelia just really isn't gonna do too much for me. So the only character I'm fussed about on my free-to-play is Rem. So she's one of the strongest Amplify characters in the entire game. I would say like her and AM Melee are just so far ahead of other Amplify characters in terms of their potential, because the thing is, every time you gain one ult gauge, you gain a buff which increases your attack related stats by 5% for 3 turns, and this stacks up to 5 times. And also as well, on top of that, her passive is if you like reach full ult gauge, she also recovers 30% max health as well. So this allows her, just on the base of the character, to get 5 buffs. So this is a 150% increase in terms of the amplify damage. So this card hits really, really hard without any support. But then also you can get like additional support on top of that. So I think for like certain content in the future and PvE cheesing, again, could be really, really good. But also for PvP geared and ungeared, she does hit like a little bit of a truck as well, which is very, very nice. You also get Ram or Rom as the free unit of this collab to give her like 20% additional stats, also to all unknown characters as well. So yeah, my advice for free-to-play and budget is like summon on this collab banner until you get 1 copy of Rem and then dip. Or you can go like the full 600, and if you get Rem, you know, you can also guarantee you pick up like Amelia or Beatrice. I think it's really good if you have the option to try and pick up like 1 copy of each. So even if you get to like the final thing and you've got, let's say, like Amelia, Rem, but you don't have Beatrice, I think she's like a worthwhile character picking up because she's pretty interesting for Guild Wars teams as well. But yeah, ReZero, it's kind of up to you like how deep you want to go on this collab, but personally on my free-to-play I'm going to be going for a single copy of Rem there. Again, there's a 0.25% on all 4 of the new characters, so 1% total. Again, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get, on average, one of the ReZero characters every 300 gems there. So hopefully you get super lucky on this banner, get Rem fairly early on, and you can dip out and just save your gems for that next kind of like game-changing festival banner. But yeah, I think she's like a really good addition to most accounts, and I think for certain stuff in the future, again, could be like a very cheesy character. And also, like, I love this card as well, which just like sweeps absolutely everybody, deals some massive damage, but then also decreases ultimate move damage and restricts ultimate move effects for 2 turns as well. So this is just like a crazy card for like cucking over certain ultimate moves. And then she's got the same AoE ultimate, I believe, as I think this is like King's ultimate, at least to the best of my memory. So yeah, it's got some pretty nice AoE damage. Again, even 1-6, she's a good character and does everything that she needs to. But again, if you're big whaling, like, she's nice to have 6/6. But yeah, I like the ReZero characters, man. But I think, like, Rem is the only one that's, like, absolutely essential. But I don't know, Amelia's, like, not bad to pick up as well. Like, if you can get both, it's happy days. But yeah, I just feel like Rem, like, even without the paid cosmetics from the collab, is just such a solid base character that she's going to do so much work in the right scenario moving forward. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the ReZero banner. And then next up, we got the Stranger Things collaboration banner, which is going to be arriving next Tuesday. Now, it's very hard to tell the value of these characters because, again, I believe they're going to be arriving on global before the Japanese and KR version. So yeah, there's going to need to be a lot of testing done. So I'd highly recommend, if you are free to play, regardless of like initial videos, wait a week and a bit, like toward the end of the collaboration before summoning, because again, like the meta needs time to adjust if they are really that impactful in terms of PvP. So yeah, I'm very, very interested. So we got Wizard Will, we got Mike Wheeler, maybe a little bit of a tank. This man's packing a shield there. And then we've got Jim Hopper, who I think is going to be the most hilarious character, literally blasting the one Escanor, Meliodas, and Goddess Liz with a shotgun. I really hope Jim is a green unit, man. Like, my best hopes of this collab is we get like double green unit, one blue and one red. So yeah, I'm very interested to see these characters and how they do perform, but it's going to be a very weird and interesting collaboration. But at the same time, again, we don't know anything about the characters, we don't know anything about the banner. It could be like, you know, all of the Stranger Things characters and like 3 Archangels on the banner, and maybe like Hawk and Oslo or some other characters. So yeah, it's like very unknown what we're going to be summoning on next week with this banner. So yeah, at least like wait a week and a bit, I would say, if you're free to play or on a bit of a budget before summoning on this banner, because again, the characters might be absolute trash. So wait for some, you know, stupid whale that spends far too much money on this mobile video game to just like 6/6 all of the units, test them out in PvP, do a few videos, and then yeah, we'll figure out whether or not they're going to be worth summoning on. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit interesting. But again, it's really hard to tell at the moment, but I don't feel like any of the Stranger Things collab characters are going to be like top meta, let's say like 6 months or a year from now. I don't have that gut feeling, but you know, you never really know when it comes to new characters and collabs, man. The power levels are pretty all over the place. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they do impact the game and also the PvP meta as well. But just hold your gems for now and kind of, you know, make a bit of an informed decision. But aside from that, we also have a cosmetic sale currently on global, and I just realized I'm on the Japanese version. So let's ping back over to global. So again, currently there is like a massive cosmetic discount, and characters that I would say, if you don't already have their cosmetics for, that are really worth investing in for the long term. Again, I think like the one Escanor, Goddess Liz, not really going anywhere. There could be certain pickups for go through as well, like Sariel, Tarmiel, even if they do kind of dip out in PvP, which currently, like, both of the characters are so ridiculously good that they show like no signs of becoming irrelevant in PvP anytime soon. Chandler is a bit bad news for Sariel, but at the same time, like Sariel, you know, if you build up the right play with the right team, you've still got like the massive cleaves to take down characters like AM Melly there, and Tarmiel is just like, Tarmiel just gets better, man. He's like fine wine. This character is just aging so incredibly well. So, you know, picking up his cosmetics, at least in my opinion, isn't a bad idea. And that is also something that I've personally done on my free-to-play account. I brought all of the cosmetics available right now, just because, again, Tarmiel, even if, like, he slips off in PvP, he's such a good control character for PvE, and he's always going to be, like, one of the best, if not the best association in the game, because his healing grace is just, like, so ridiculously overpowered. Like, there's so much healing to so many different characters, so 150% of defense. Again, that's always going to be good to chuck on a support character in various teams and setups there. Also cosmetics for AM Melly. Again, if you are thinking about the longer term, again, might not be a bad option moving forward. But yeah, it's really only those like super broken festival characters, and maybe also certain characters like Esterosa and Derriere that are kind of worth considering. Ludo, I feel like with Super Awakening 5, again, he actually loses a lot of combat class in comparison, so he really got A bit of a downgrade there. So unless you're a massive whale, like Ludo has never really been a good investment. But yeah, aside from that, it's kind of like all the standard characters that are like super overpowered, super broken. So you got like Goddess Liz, Sariel, Tarmiel, the one Escanor, AM Melee, maybe a little bit of Lost Fame Melee as well. Again, Lost Fame Melee, even if like he has started to fall off a little bit in PvP, at the same time, he's still like ridiculously broken for so much stuff in PvE. And like that ability when he gets crit to like upgrade cards as well. Again, there are going to be bosses and scenarios in the future and certain metas and characters that, you know, this is just like absolutely insane for. So yeah, I still really like Lost Fame Man, and the right team and setup, he can still work and be a very good character to bring to the table. But yeah, also one thing to know as well is that the new Zeldris does not share cosmetics with the older version of Zeldris. They're on completely different closets. So yeah, just something to keep in mind if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy Zeldris cosmetics while they're discounted now, because there is going to be, you know, the Festival Zeldris coming out, and I want to get, you know, the cosmetics ready for him. They don't share the same cosmetics, so keep that in mind. Just be aware if you are going on this cosmetic sale. But Zeldris, like, he's not bad to buy cosmetics for, but again, if you're free to play, you got a very limited budget, you need to invest in those cosmetics very wisely, and you only want to buy cosmetics for the characters that are you know, absolutely meta-dominant broken in terms of both PvP and also PvE. So yeah, hopefully today's video kind of outlined my thoughts on what I believe is kind of the best plan for gems. Again, kind of pick up the good top-tier discounted cosmetics that you don't have right now for the characters that you're using on a daily basis in PvP, PvE is the best time to do so during this sale. But also, like, moving forward in the next 6 to 8 weeks, be very careful on what you summon on, because there are a lot of banners that are kind of, in my opinion, a little bit trap banners. You know, there's not a lot of additional good stuff. Like, the rates on the characters are very low, and hopefully there's going to be better stuff in the future as well, with like the 2-year anniversary on the JP and KR version, which should be coming right after Chandler and Zeldris on Global. That is going to be like a really interesting banner to summon on, tons of great value, and also like a very strong like meta changing guaranteed character. But you know, it's a little bit hard to tell what's going to be coming in the future, but these are just my predictions moving forward. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also let me know what is your plan with gems moving forward. Aside from that, if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.
You are not subscribed to the whale sin of spending? Who decided that? Subscribe now, or enjoy the bitter taste of regret.